to show you right after this are going to be really focused on influencing that system one mode, which is the emotional side.
Amazing. I can't wait. Let's get to it.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Do I share my screen? Correct?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So let's let me just get this set. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you guys. First of all, I'm going to show one case study, and I'm going to be very quick about this. I just showed from a client's website. So this is a website called handicappets.com, and they're an amazing company. They've been selling dog wheelchairs for the last 15 years, and what they do is they essentially manufacture these wheelchairs that are designed for different types of dogs and stuff. And so I want to show you an example of actually how copywriting actually makes a difference. So the control group, so the what we tested was, and I should show you just the product. So basically the client, as any retailer, wants to draw people's attention to the product pages as quickly as possible, because my job as a marketer is to get out of the way, let people tell me what kind of wheelchair they're looking for, whether it's a rare wheelchair, whether it's for all four wheels, whether it's a front wheelchair. And then I want to kind of tell them about that specific product. And we kind of made a different conclusion. We said that people coming to this page are new to the website. They've never bought a wheelchair. They have a lot of anxiety. They have a lot of questions. They're buying the wheelchair for their beloved dog or their beloved pet. They have questions about, is it going to be comfortable for them? Is it difficult to assemble? Is it going to be durable? Can my dog pee and poop with the wheelchair? These are all questions that people were having. We felt, and this shows you the power of copywriting, that we need to actually do something blasphemous, which is take the focus away from a product and take the focus to copywriting. So what we did is we actually tested this version of the page. This is what won. And you'll notice we actually don't even show the product. There's no mention of the product. And we really focused in on, we wanted to show a video for how the dog uses the wheelchair, which we thought was persuasive. And then we're basically talking about the relationship human beings have with their pets, because that is the central emotional driver for a person looking for a wheelchair. We wanted to kind of acknowledge that. And then over here, it says, why buy from us? We wanted to kind of help the buyer understand why Handicap Pets are uniquely positioned to create wheelchairs. What makes us unique? Because that's the question that the user has when they first identified that their dog is suffering and they need to buy a wheelchair, or they need to buy some mechanism to relieve their discomfort. Their first concern is, why should I have a relation? Why should I trust this company, Handicap Pets? I've never met them. I'm going to buy online. This costs hundreds of dollars. And so for us, we thought it would be much more effective to focus in on telling buyers about what makes this company unique. And then we showed them this button where when you click on it, now we're showing the products. And and I want to just tell you very quickly about the test results. So we had a 38% improvement in conversion rates of people that were part of our experiment, and we evaluated this statistically. So I think at a very broad level, this is an example where this is a good counterexample to demonstrate that you don't have to just focus on the product. Depending on what part of the funnel the user is, what part of the buying process the user is coming from, you actually are better off focusing on copy, because copy allows you to tell a story that primes them, which then gets them to convert. So I just want to quickly share that.
No, that's amazing. I mean, I think it goes into this notion that the best thing you can do as a marketer is to understand your customer. And what you just demonstrated is that you were able to sort of identify emotionally with the customer and know that, what, the first thing they want to know is not how many types of dog wheelchairs there are. It's like this emotional question. So, I think it's very clear that the kind of approach you would take is different depending on the business. Now, I don't want people listening to this thinking, okay, I have to do exactly this for my business. That doesn't make sense. I think, what Rishi's really talked about here is like really connecting with what this particular customer was thinking. So, for everyone listening, you should think about what is that first question which your customer would have. And hopefully you know that, and maybe you can ask people about it. But I think what's interesting now is how can people actually do a test like this? So, are there like any easy to use tools like say Google Optimize or things like that? Because you mentioned a lot of concepts like making sure it's statistically significant. These are all quite advanced kind of topics. I don't want to get into all of that right now, but let's say you've got someone and they're able to whip up a new landing page with a new hypothesis. How would they go about it?
That's a great question, and I would mention that unless if you have significant transaction volume, it's very difficult to actually get to a statistical winner unless if what you're testing is extremely radical. So I would say, and this is why I'm going to keep the rest of the presentation focused on first principles. I think a lot of the people that are watching this right now would want to test some of these ideas. But unless you are selling, 800 to 1,000 units a month, maybe even more, it's actually difficult to get to a statistical result. And you want to be careful about false positives, and you want to be careful about false negatives as well. And so, in the case of handicap pets, they have significant transaction volume. So we were able to actually test and validate this. But I've been doing this for the last 10 years. We've worked with hundreds of online retailers. So I think what I'm going to show today are principles that we have tested aggressively and effectively, but I think can be applied as a principle to any kind of e-commerce website. So I want to just add that qualification.